Hey everybody, this is Jay with Naj and Jay, and as you can see, we are with the legendary local hero, Edward Loper Jr., in front of the Chris White Gallery for another one of his many exhibitions. And Naj, why don't you go ahead and ask the first question?
How do you feel about your opening?
Well, it's one of the better ones.
Oh.
It's one of the better ones. I've, I've had a lot of openings, and to come in here and see this, you know, I like it. I like it. I like it. You know, some people ask you questions, and I got the answers for them. But yeah, I hope I can keep doing it like this.
So, what are you working on now? Because your son was saying that you're just in a constant state of working. Like, what are you working on now?
6 paintings,
Okay.
Okay.
and I work every day. And as long as I can see and think of something to paint, I'm going to keep on doing it.
Absolutely.
What was it like working with Shamika and Jaquan,
Who?
the curators for the gallery?
Oh, I met him, and he says, "Oh my goodness, we've been looking for you. I heard about you." And I said, "Oh, really? Darn, you young. Haven't heard about me." But, well, they try to hide good stuff in in Delaware, and they make nice neighborhoods for people and all that, but they didn't make the neighborhood that I was born in and know more about. I know more about the city than the mayor, and things like that. I know how to stop water from flowing in the neighborhoods, but I'd like to, you know, discuss it at city county building, because they named the street after Ed Loper. You know, and why shouldn't my street look like hell? You know, so yeah,
Why do you?
I like what's going on because they're doing something in Wilmington,
Yeah.
and I hope they can. You don't see shooting all the time in Wilmington like you see in Philadelphia.
You see a lot of art, yours included.
Art,
Yes, a lot of art.
I have been looking at art since they told me that Columbus discovered America, and that was in the first grade. And I saw that art, and I saw what my father was doing back then, and it was hard to believe. I'm looking at art being produced and looking at something that was produced for a book or a calendar. All right, all that, a lot of stuff was on calendars, and then back then you didn't get magazines that had color. The only if you wanted to see a magazine, you wanted to see art, you had to go to a museum, and the closest one was Delaware Art Museum. And my first experience with seeing art done, my father took me to these certain places like up along the railroad and painted me. I had to sit there and watch him paint from there, looking toward the new 11th Street Bridge that was built in 1937. And I watched him, you know, and what surprised me, I was taken by all that. I didn't know I was being taken by that, but I started discovering stuff back then, a whole lot of things, because first grade, the war started, and when I went into first grade, I had to come back home because I was a sickly little boy. And my brother was born in 19. I was born in 1934. He was born in 1938. All right. By the time I'm 7 years old, he's my height. All right. He's my height, and he went to that tall. I only went to this height.
He
How you
kept
can't play
going.
basketball at this height? You know. My father played basketball for Howard.
Oh.
You know, he was a star. They got his name on the football.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's in the library in Howard School.
So Jamie got some of that.
Yeah.
For sure. Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Uh-huh. You're an athlete.
Yeah.
Yeah.
the whole family athletes. Couldn't run a block. All right.
But I feel like your work ethic is like that of an athlete. You just
Yes.
constantly train, so it's
Yeah.
still in you, you know?
When I finally straightened out, just by swimming underwater, I could swim the length of cruise pool underwater.
Oh, I can't swim at all.
Cured what I had, all right? And I could run again, last, all right? But I said, I know what I'm gonna do now, all right? By the time I'm ready to graduate from high school, I knew what I was gonna do, and I did it. Everything, I lit Wilmington up.
Literally. With the charcoal
Not
pit
just
sign.
with the paintings, all the electrics, big, massive electric signs in this city. You ever been up Concord Pike?
No, the charcoal pit. I know.
Charcoal
And the
pit.
hot dog spot.
Charcoal pit.
He said I was gonna do it.
All the major shopping centers, I put something in it.
Do you
No
know?
colored boy. We was colored back then.
Right.
You know, and people look at me. Who do you think you are?
Right.
I don't know, but I did it.
But you knew.
I'm an artist and I'm sensitive about my stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you know that you're a living legend here in your town? Are you totally conscious of that? Because if you don't know, you should
I tell
know.
my kids about you.
Yeah.
Look, Al Connell, who
Okay.
was a photographer, he come in Tough Sign and said, "Hey, Loper, he's a living legend."
Yes.
I said, "Man, shh, don't tell nobody that shit." Yeah, living legend.
Well,
88 years old.
still going.
Still painting, still going. Every day.
Every day, yeah.
Well, thank you so much for allowing us to interview you. And congratulations.
And thank you for
On
inspiring
yours.
us to continue to create art. We appreciate that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm serious.
Come here, Jamie.
Anything you want to add in, Jamie?
Huh?
This is the dynamic duo.
Yeah, no, I mean, like I was saying earlier, I'm just, I love my dad. I'm super proud of him. His work is unbelievable, and I'm so blessed that I can celebrate this with him.
Absolutely.
So,
Oh, man, this guy ice skate his tail off.
Right, I know. That's great. Thank you guys for your time.
Tell us what it's like to be able to see your father's work like this now.
well, this doesn't get old. I'm completely immersed in putting these shows together, but when I walk in and see it all together, it's like my eyes glass up. I think, and I mentioned in our previous conversations that this means more than what I do. I love what I do, teaching ice skating. I love my students. I love everyone in that sport. But this here is something that's in my DNA and has been there since day one. So I take tremendous pride in it. I take, the detail of knowing how it's laid out, how it's perceived. I listen to how people comment on those paintings. So that's the reward for me, and it's gives my life worth meaning.
So something you mentioned to us off camera was this is the first time you worked with an accent wall. Can you explain that?
Yeah, so accent wall was something new to me. I'm used to having the paintings sit on a white wall where they can celebrate themselves. The colors come to life. It's what I'm used to, and I guess that would be traditional. So the accent wall, especially not being the artist myself, I have to make sure that I follow the quality that my father wants. So finding a color that can celebrate the paintings and not dominate them or run through the frame itself was kind of tricky. Again, Shamika Jones and Jawan were absolutely instrumental in putting that together. I couldn't even wrap my mind around what color could possibly go here, but they found this beautiful color. It's soothing, it's inviting, and it celebrates the paintings but doesn't interfere at all with the images. So,
How many paintings are here tonight and how many are at home?
There are 10 paintings on display, and there are many at home. Dad is always working. He's always surrounded by paintings, covered in paint, but it's what he loves doing. So my deal is to make sure that I push his legacy and that his work is presented as best as possible while he works, and that's the balance, and that's what I love doing.
What was the difference between doing the exhibition tonight versus during Art Loop?
Well, I think this was all in the scheduling. To be honest with you, I didn't even realize that tonight was not an Art Loop night. I was so excited about the show. I was hyper focused on that date. So we've had a great turnout, amazing conversations, wonderful familiar faces, and I'm sure Art Loop is going to be even better. So I'm really looking forward to that. In the previous years, we've been in the courthouse, which can be kind of tricky getting into sometimes. So this I would consider center stage. And I'm loving it, and I'm so happy for my dad and that everybody can see these paintings and celebrate them with him.
Hey everybody.
Hey everybody.
Naj and Jay here again. But right now we are here with the curator, so Shamika Jones. Is it curator? What is the official name?
I would say art agent at this point.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Oh.
Do it all, curatorial work, art placement, connecting with collectors, really just doing it all. Marketing, promo, so one girl show, one woman show.
I love it. So this is called Wilmington and Beyond. I don't think we even said that yet, but it's called Wilmington and Beyond. How did you come across Edward Loper Jr.?
Oh gosh, long story, but I'll make it short.
Okay.
I was an intern at a museum, and I came across one of his father's pieces, and I reached out asking if I could do an interview, and then I was like, well, can I do a studio visit? And then I was like, well, can I do an exhibition for you? And so every can I just was a green light, and then I proposed the idea to be Mr. Loper's official agent, and it was a yes, and I just feel honored that he trusted in me to, just do right by his artworks and just showcase them nonstop and for the world to enjoy.
You should know that Jamie had nice things to say about you, when we're talking to him. So, yeah, it's real,
Thank you. No, Jamie is phenomenal, and this whole experience has been just beyond my imagination. Every time I asked a question, I didn't think it would just keep expanding the way it has been, but it has, and I'm thrilled.
Yeah.
Do you have further plans with Mr. Loper?
Absolutely, so stay tuned, and I have just so much in store, but I can't speak on it just yet.
Sure.
So, yes.
Where can we follow you?
At Good Aesthetic Gallery on Instagram, and feel free to explore the website. I'm also representing other artists and collaborating with them. So
Are you an artist?
I dibble and dabble.
Okay,
So not
Always
anything,
curious,
Yes, but I just like working one-on-one with Delaware artists in particular, and just placing them in galleries or non-traditional spaces like restaurants, and just helping them get that exposure. So.
How did you get involved with that?
From Mr. Loper, and then
It started with Mr. Loper?
Wow.
Oh, wow.
And
Okay.
then I was like, well, if I can do it with him, I wonder who else I can reach out to and see who needs help.
Girl, you got a legend.
I'm trying.
That's the way to start.
I'm really trying, but
What are you doing?
none of us would be here if it weren't for him. So it's just, at this moment, just honoring everybody. Well, honoring him first, and then everyone that comes after him. So that's the plan.
Well, congratulations.
Thank
And congratulations on becoming his agent. Absolutely wonderful. And we hope that you guys sell out everything. Come up in here and buy everything.
Please do.
And thank you for
because-
playing a huge role in keeping his art alive. You know what I mean?
Yes. He needs his flowers. He deserves his flowers. So I'm just glad he's still here to speak to everyone, because he's definitely ready to tell his story. And
He took us back to the 1930s.
He literally started in the 30s.
Listen.
It was amazing.
And we'll keep going. And I'm
Yeah.
like, yes, give us these gems,
Yep.
because
Yep.
who else is doing it?
I will sit here for 2 hours and let him just rock if I had
Okay.
to. It was no problem. So, yep.
Exactly. So thank you both, though, because what you guys are doing is just as important. It takes a community.